All right, let's dive in. Welcome to our deep dive on, well, the roots of the mystery traditions.
Sounds a little mysterious, doesn't it?
It does, but thankfully we've got a great collection of articles and excerpts to guide us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mainly from a publication called Black Pearl, back from 1998.
Wow,
I
1998.
know. So we're really going back in time a bit here.
Ah,
Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to unearth some of those core concepts.
I love it.
I know. And also the key figures associated with these ancient traditions.
It's going to be a journey.
It is. We're going to be uncovering some surprising connections, I think.
Definitely.
Some intriguing perspectives that just might shift how we think about all of this,
About spirituality and self-discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not just a dry history lesson, but a real deep dive into how these ancient ideas still resonate today.
And what they can offer us on our own paths.
Exactly. So James Eshelman, in The Roots of the Mysteries, kicks things off with this captivating idea
Okay.
of an interior church. Okay, so picture this. A hidden community of those seeking light.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been around since, well, the dawn of creation,
Wow.
right? So I have to ask you, does this idea resonate with you at all?
It really does. It kind of gives me goosebumps
Yeah.
to think about, like, a lineage of seekers throughout history.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like a connection to something bigger? Like you're part of something that's been going on for centuries?
I think we all have those moments where we feel a sense of belonging to something greater than ourselves.
Yes.
And this idea of an interior church, it really captures that feeling, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you feel like you're not alone on this journey.
Definitely not one.
That there are others, past and present, who are also seeking.
Exactly.
So to explore these roots, Eshelman uses this framework of 8 magi.
Okay, 8 magi.
And these are figures throughout history who, according to Aleister Crowley, represent milestones in human consciousness.
Interesting.
Now, keep in mind, some of these figures might be mythical. Okay.
But what's important here is that their doctrines reflect real shifts in how humanity understood the spiritual realm.
So they're like archetypes
Yeah.
representing different stages of spiritual evolution.
Yes. And each one contributes a unique perspective to this, ongoing conversation about the nature of reality.
I like that, an ongoing conversation.
Yeah, because it never really ends, does it?
It doesn't.
And our place within it all.
Right.
So first up, we have Krishna.
Krishna?
And his word is AUM.
Ah, AUM.
Probably the most recognizable sound in spiritual traditions, wouldn't you say?
It is.
And it's associated with, peace,
Definite.
connection, something greater.
It's like a universal symbol.
Yeah, and it's said to encompass all sounds,
Mm-hmm.
symbolically all thoughts.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine that?
It's hard to wrap your head around.
Right?
But it's this idea of that pure, undifferentiated consciousness, that primordial state from which everything emerges.
That's powerful.
It is. And it's a concept that we see echoed in so many mystical traditions, right?
It's a recurring theme.
It is. And then there's the Bhagavad Gita,
Okay.
which outlines Krishna's teachings.
Mm-hmm.
We see themes of duty, fulfilling one's intrinsic role,
Uh-huh.
seeking union with the divine through devotion, bhakti yoga.
Bhakti yoga.
But what does that really mean for us today?
It's a good question.
It is.
Because it's not just about rituals and ceremonies, right?
Right. It's got to be more than that.
It's about cultivating that sense of love and devotion
Mm-hmm.
that can infuse our everyday actions,
Okay.
transforming even those, mundane tasks into acts of spiritual practice.
I like that.
Yeah, it's about finding that connection to the divine in everything we do,
Yeah.
in the way we interact with the world and the people around us.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Okay. Next, we're going to journey to Egypt
Right, Egypt.
to meet Thoth,
Bah.
the god of wisdom and magic.
He sounds like a cool guy.
He does. His word is Amo-Wi-Eni. And let me tell you, he's got an impressive resume.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's credited with inventing writing,
Wow, writing.
which led to, well, civilization itself.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
It is. So he embodies that power of language and thought to shape reality.
That's powerful.
It is. And through writing, humans develop self-conscious thought.
Right, the ability to reflect
Yeah.
on ourselves and our experiences.
Exactly. And that's considered the foundation of magic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's the ability to use symbols to influence the world around us.
So it's all about understanding those connections between thought and reality.
Yes, the power of thought, intention.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supernatural. It's more like an extension of our innate human capabilities.
I like that way of looking at it.
Right.
It makes magic seem more accessible somehow.
It does. And Thoth is also linked to Hermes Trismegistus
Hermes Trismegistus.
and the Hermetic sciences,
Okay.
exploring the mysteries of the universe through alchemy, astrology, magic.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's a tradition that emphasizes that interconnectedness of everything.
As above, so below. It's
Exactly.
a powerful concept.
It is. From the ancient Egyptian pantheon, we shift to Moses.
Okay, Moses.
His word is IHVH,
IHVA.
the foundation of the Kabbalah.
The Kabbalah. Now that's a system shrouded in mystery for many,
It is.
with all its symbols and correspondences.
Yeah, it's like a roadmap for exploring the hidden dimensions of reality, wouldn't you say?
A roadmap, I like that.
It provides a framework for understanding the universe, the human mind, our place within it all.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. But I think it can be incredibly insightful.
I agree.
So let's unpack this a little.
Okay.
Why should our listeners care about the Kabbalah?
Why should they care?
How can it be relevant to their lives?
Well, think of it as a tool for self-discovery.
Okay, a tool.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of its central components is the Tree of Life.
Ah, the Tree of Life.
Yes. It's a diagram that maps out different aspects of consciousness and existence. So by studying this system, you can start to see how these principles play out in your own life.
I see.
You gain a deeper understanding of your strengths, weaknesses, and your potential for growth.
Oh, interesting.
It helps you identify patterns,
Okay.
understand your motivations, and ultimately navigate your life with more awareness and intention.
That's powerful. Now, we journey east.
Okay, geese.
We encounter two very influential figures.
No.
Lao Tzu,
Right.
the word Tao,
Okay.
and Siddhartha,
See you there.
whose word is anatta.
Renata.
Both seem to be emphasizing like a way of being in the world, but in distinct ways.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
They're both kind of urging us to look beyond that illusion of a separate self
Right.
and connect to a greater reality.
So Lao Tzu, through the Tao Te Ching, encourages us to align with the natural flow of the Tao, the underlying principle of the universe.
That effortless action,
Yes.
living in harmony with the natural order.
Right.
It's beautiful.
And then we have Siddhartha, who teaches about recognizing the impermanence of the self, or anatta,
Anatta.
and practicing self-reflection to achieve liberation from suffering.
Liberation from suffering, that's a big one.
It is.
So his path is about understanding the nature of reality and transcending attachment to the illusion of a separate self.
It's about letting go
Go.
of that idea that we are this fixed, unchanging entity.
Yeah, it's about realizing that everything is in constant flux.
Exactly.
Including ourselves.
And that can be both liberating and terrifying.
It can. It's like stepping into the unknown.
Exactly.
But it's in that unknown that we often find our true potential.
That's where the magic happens.
It is.
It's about deconstructing our limited sense of self and connecting to a greater reality.
Exactly. And both Lao Tzu and Siddhartha offer different paths towards a similar goal, a deeper understanding of our true nature and our place in the cosmos.
It's about expanding our awareness.
It is. Okay, next we have Dionysus,
Dionysus.
associated with the word Enrei. Now, Dionysus, he's a complex figure with multiple incarnations across various cultures.
Yeah, he pops up everywhere.
He does. What connects them all, though?
All of them are connected to these themes of death and rebirth,
Death and rebirth, wow.
cycles of transformation,
Okay.
and that ecstatic experience of the divine.
The ecstatic experience.
He embodies that wild, untamed energy of spiritual awakening.
Like raw power.
Yeah, the raw power of nature that can both create and destroy.
It's a bit intimidating, isn't it?
It can be.
But also exhilarating, I imagine.
Definitely.
And the word NNAAO itself is interesting.
Yeah, what about that?
Isn't it connected to the formula of magic?
It is.
Like later on down the line?
You know, you could understand NAIAO as a symbolic representation of that process of transformation.
Transformation.
And it hints at the formula of magic, which is all about using will and intention to bring about change.
Okay, so aligning ourselves with those natural forces.
Yes.
And becoming active participants in our own evolution.
It's about taking control of our destiny.
Powerful stuff. From the wild energy of Dionysus, we shift to Muhammad, whose word is Allah.
Allah.
And his message seems to be all about the oneness of God
Yes.
and surrendering to God's will.
Surrendering to God's will, that's a big one.
It is. Could that also be seen as aligning oneself with a higher purpose?
Absolutely.
Like letting go of our own limited desires and embracing a greater plan?
It's about trusting in something larger than ourselves.
Yeah, relinquishing that illusion of control.
And having faith that we are being guided towards our highest good.
Even if we don't always understand the path.
Exactly.
And finally, we arrive at Aleister Crowley.
Aleister Crowley.
Who called himself Two-Mega-Therian.
Two-Mega-Therian, what a name.
I know, his words are Thelema and Abrahadabra.
Abrahadabra.
Now, Crowley is undoubtedly a controversial figure.
He is.
But his work has been incredibly influential.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in esoteric circles.
He really shook things up.
He did. And his teachings, although often misunderstood.
Yeah, definitely misunderstood.
Draw upon and synthesize the ideas of the previous magi.
He was like a culmination of this lineage.
He was. He saw himself that way, too.
Right.
Yeah, integrating their wisdom into a new system.
And he channeled a text called Liber Legis.
Liber Legis.
Which introduced the word thelema.
Meaning will.
Will,
yeah.
Yes. But it's important to distinguish Crowley's concept of will from just, egotistical desires.
Right. There's got to be more to it than that.
It's about aligning with one's true will.
True will.
Which is essentially our divine purpose.
Our divine purpose.
The unique path we're meant to follow in this life.
Okay.
It's about fulfilling our potential.
And Abrahadabra, which most people associate with silly magic tricks.
Right, like pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, exactly. But it actually has a deeper meaning in Crowley's system.
Oh, absolutely.
What is it?
Crowley believed it was a powerful word that encoded the mystery and method of spiritual progress.
Okay, so it's not just a random word.
Not at all.
It represents that journey from the limitations of the mundane to the realization of one's true self.
That process of transformation and awakening.
That's at the heart of all esoteric traditions.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond the surface level and delving into the depths of our being.
So we've explored this incredible lineage of magi representing these major shifts in human consciousness.
It's quite a journey.
It is. But how does this relate to us?
That's the key question, isn't it?
It is. How does it relate to our own journeys of self-discovery?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. One of the articles you included, Roots of the True Self, by Sora Merrill.
Okay, Roots of the True Self.
Dives into the factors that shape who we are.
Okay.
And it offers some unique insights that go beyond the usual focus on just our childhood experiences.
Oh, okay.
She delves into areas like genetics, karma,
even our horoscopes.
Wait, hold on. Genetics and our horoscopes? How do those play into our true selves?
It's a different way of thinking about it, right? It is. It's a lot to process.
But it challenges that idea that we're solely products of our upbringing. It suggests that our true selves are shaped by this confluence of forces.
Okay.
Including, like you said, genetics, past lives, karma, astrological influences, even our life purpose.
It's like we have this pre-existing blueprint.
A blueprint. I like that.
And it's shaped by forces beyond our immediate control.
It's a fascinating concept.
It is. But then where does free will come into play?
That's a great question. One that philosophers and mystics have pondered for centuries.
Yeah.
Maybe free will lies in how we respond to these influences.
Yeah.
How we choose to navigate the challenges of opportunities that come our way.
So it's not about control.
Not necessarily.
It's about understanding.
Understanding those underlying forces and using them to our advantage.
Okay.
Consciously shaping our lives rather than being swept along by them.
It's empowering in a way.
It is.
It's like we have more agency than we might realize.
We do. And it makes you wonder which of these factors resonate most strongly in your own life.
Right, which ones are worth exploring further.
Exactly.
And another article you included, Diaries and Dictionaries.
Diaries and Dictionaries, yes.
It provides some practical advice for navigating this journey.
It does.
It emphasizes the importance of keeping a magical diary.
A magical diary, I love that.
To track our inner experiences and insights.
It sounds simple, but it can be so revealing.
It can. It's like becoming an archaeologist of our own souls, right?
Exactly. You're excavating those hidden treasures buried beneath the surface.
And then there's the dictionary, which we often take for granted.
The humble dictionary.
But it can actually be a powerful ally in this journey of self-discovery.
Especially when we're exploring those spiritual texts, which are often so dense and symbolic.
They are.
Understanding the nuances of language, the etymology of words, can unlock whole new levels of meaning.
And prevent us from misinterpreting these ancient teachings.
Right, because words have power.
They do.
They carry a weight of history and meaning.
Yeah, they're not just tools for communication, but gateways to deeper understanding.
Exactly. By carefully considering the language used in spiritual texts, we can connect with the wisdom of those who came before us on a much deeper level.
Wow, that's beautifully put.
Thank you.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Well, yeah,
From ancient magi to practical tools for self-discovery.
it's been a whirlwind tour.
It has. But it feels like we've only just begun to unravel these mysteries.
And that's the exciting part. There's so much more to explore.
There is.
And remember, this is just an introduction.
An appetizer.
Exactly. The real journey begins when we take these ideas and apply them to our own experiences.
Yeah, it's not about just reading about it.
It's about putting it into practice.
Experimenting, exploring.
Seeing what resonates.
Finding our own unique path.
Absolutely.
So what's resonating with you the most so far?
That's a tough one.
Is there a particular magus or concept that's piqued your curiosity?
I think I'm most intrigued by this idea of the true self.
The true self, yeah.
It's like this hidden treasure waiting to be uncovered.
And we'll be back in a moment to delve deeper into these mysteries and explore how they can illuminate your own path of self-discovery.
It's fascinating how all these figures and traditions, they all kind of converge on this idea of a true self.
Right.
This thing that lies, beneath the surface.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
It is.
Yeah.
And speaking of Crowley, his concept of the true self actually connects really well with what Sarah Merrill talks about in her article.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember she talks about genetics, karma.
Right, our horoscopes, all shaping who we are at our core.
Exactly.
It was mind-blowing to think about.
It is, and Crowley believed that our true will, it's a reflection of this true self.
So it's not just about what we want on a surface level.
No.
It's about aligning with this deeper calling.
Yeah. It's unique to each of us.
And that alignment,
That's where the magic happens.
it's where we tap into a source of power
Creativity.
that transcends those limitations of our ego-driven desires.
Exactly.
Thinking back to diaries and dictionaries,
Okay.
those tools can help us tune into that.
They can. Keeping a magical diary helps us become aware.
Of our inner landscape.
Exactly. Those subtle nudges
Yeah.
of intuition, recurring patterns,
Pointing us towards our true will.
like becoming an archaeologist
Oh, I like that.
of our own soul,
Yeah,
excavating those treasures.
I love that. And the dictionary, which we often take for granted,
Right.
it can be a powerful ally on this journey.
It can. Especially when we're exploring spiritual texts.
Right, they're so dense.
They are. Packed with meaning, symbolism, understanding the nuances of language can unlock deeper levels of understanding.
Prevent us from misinterpreting, too.
Exactly, because words have power.
They do. They carry, like, this weight.
Of history.
Yeah.
Not just tools for communication.
But gateways, yeah.
To a deeper understanding.
By considering the language, we can connect with the wisdom
Of those who came before.
at a much deeper level.
Exactly.
Okay, let's bring it back to those 8 magi.
Okay.
Their significance seems to be not just in their historical context, but in how their teachings illuminate our own journey.
It's about taking those teachings, applying them.
To our lives today.
And they're like guides,
Yeah.
in this vast landscape of spiritual exploration.
Even though they lived in different times and places.
It's incredible to think about.
I know, the continuity of thought, experience across cultures and throughout history.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're not just uncovering ancient history,
Right.
but tapping into a living tradition.
A current
Yeah.
of wisdom that flows through us today.
Exactly.
So how do we make sense of all this information?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is. How do we integrate these diverse teachings?
Into our own lives.
Yeah.
Well, remember, this deep dive, just a starting point.
Jumping off point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The real journey
Yeah.
begins when we take these ideas and apply them.
It's about experimenting, exploring.
Seeing what works for you.
There's no one right path.
Not at all. It's about finding your own,
Your unique way.
of connecting with the divine
Expressing our true selves.
in the world.
Speaking of mysteries,
Okay.
let's dive into some specific articles from Black Pearl.
All right.
There's one that caught my eye, Liber Chem.
Liber Chem. Okay.
It outlines this ritual
Uh-huh.
to connect with the Egyptian god Set. I've always found Set to be a bit of a controversial figure.
Yeah, he is often associated with chaos.
Destruction.
But in this context, he's seen as a force of transformation.
Like breaking down those old structures.
Shattering limiting beliefs.
Trading space for our true will.
Exactly.
It sounds intense.
It is. Visualizing oneself as Set, invoking serpent fire, chanting in ancient Egyptian.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but maybe not ready to invoke serpent fire just yet.
Maybe not today.
How about Monokoros?
Monokeros, okay.
The article exploring the symbolism of the unicorn.
Ah, the unicorn.
Such a magical creature.
Steeped in mythology.
Symbolism.
Purity, spiritual enlightenment.
I love how the article traces that symbolism through history.
It's fascinating, right?
From medieval tapestries to pop culture.
It's an image that captures our imagination.
It does. Speaks to our fascination with the mystical.
Yeah, the unknown.
The parts of ourselves that resist categorization.
That defy rational explanation.
But there's a practical side to this article, too.
There is?
It connects the unicorn to financial abundance.
Really?
Yeah. It explores the idea that financial prosperity can be a reflection of our inner state of alignment.
With our true will.
When we're living in accordance with our purpose,
Yeah.
we create this magnetic force that attracts resources and opportunities.
So it's not just about material wealth.
It's about the flow of abundance in all areas.
Aligning our inner and outer world.
Creating a harmonious balance.
That allows us to manifest our dreams.
All right, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Talk about Crowley's visionary experiences.
In the vision of the voice.
Specifically, the sections on the 21st, 20th, and 19th ethers.
All right, those are some dense accounts.
They are full of esoteric language and imagery.
Not exactly light reading.
Definitely not. But with careful analysis, we can glean some profound insights.
Into the nature of consciousness.
And the hidden dimensions of reality.
It's a journey into the unknown.
The 21st Aether, called ASP,
ASP.
seems to be all about confronting the void.
The void.
The absolute emptiness at the heart of existence.
Crowley's description is incredibly evocative.
What does he encounter?
A desolate throne.
Okay.
A figure with eyes that speak in tastes.
That's a little creepy.
It is. And this overwhelming sense of loneliness. It's a powerful depiction of the encounter with the ultimate ground of being.
The source from which all things emerge.
It sounds terrifying.
It does, like staring into the abyss.
And realizing there's nothing to hold on to.
No fixed reference points.
But it's also liberating.
In what way?
In that surrender,
Mm-hmm.
we discover a freedom that transcends those limitations.
Okay, so the 20th Aether, called KHR, shifts gears a bit, focusing on the Wheel of Fortune
Okay.
and the three gunas, Tamas, Rashas, and Sattva.
The gunas.
I have to admit, I'm not entirely clear on those terms.
The gunas are fundamental forces that drive creation and change.
Okay.
Qualities of energy that are present in all things.
Okay.
Tamas is inertia,
Okay.
heaviness, darkness.
Yeah.
Rajas is activity,
Mm-hmm.
passion, energy.
Okay.
And Sattva is balance, purity, light.
So they're like the building blocks of experience.
Yeah, the different flavors of energy that shape our perception of reality.
And Crowley's experience in this Aether highlights the interplay of these forces,
They're constantly in motion.
shaping and reshaping our lives.
He encounters figures like the lamb, the wolf, and the raven.
Each representing different aspects.
Of these gunas.
Sounds like a wild ride.
It is. And one of the key insights is the deceptive nature of Sattva.
The quality of purity and light.
Yeah, and it can actually be a trap.
A trap for those seeking liberation.
It is. But the danger lies in becoming attached to those qualities.
Okay.
Seeing them as inherently superior.
To their opposite.
True liberation lies in transcending all dualities.
Including the duality of spiritual versus mundane.
Light versus darkness.
So it's about embracing the wholeness of existence.
Yes, the full spectrum of experience.
Without judgment.
Without attachment.
Recognizing that divine spark that's present in all things.
Even the seemingly darker, chaotic aspects.
Okay, then we have the 19th Aether, POP. This one introduces this alphabet of daggers.
Alphabet of daggers.
And the idea of worshiping in the body the things of the body. What's that all about?
It's all about the integration of different levels of being.
Body, mind, spirit.
He encounters a variety of symbols.
Okay.
Figures, including an old man, a battlefield with a tree of life.
Okay.
A crocodile god named Sebek, who devours everything in his path.
That imagery is intense.
It is. It's a symbolic representation of the death and rebirth cycle.
So breaking down old structures.
To make way for new growth.
Okay.
Seebeck, the crocodile god, represents that destructive force that clears away the old.
So it's about embracing change.
Even when it's painful or challenging.
Letting go.
Of what no longer serves us.
To make space for something new.
Exactly. And it's not just about external change.
It's about internal transformation.
Shedding old patterns, beliefs, identities that are holding us back.
And then finally, the angel of the ether appears.
Okay.
Offering Crowley a message of hope and empowerment.
What does she say?
She speaks about recognizing the divine within humanity, encourages him to embrace his role as a prophet of a new era. She reminds him that he's not alone on this journey.
There are others who share his vision.
Working towards a similar goal.
Powerful message.
It is. A reminder that even in the midst of chaos, there's a guiding force.
A divine spark within each of us.
That can illuminate the path forward.
And we're all connected, part of a larger movement.
Working to bring about positive change.
In the world.
It's incredible to think that someone could have such profound experiences and then try to put them into words.
Yeah, they really offer a glimpse into the depths of human consciousness.
Yeah.
The possibilities for transformation.
You know, it's becoming clear to me, as we've been going through all this, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to self-discovery.
Not at all.
Each of these magi, with their unique teachings, experiences, offer a different perspective.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
We can draw inspiration from all these different traditions.
Experiment.
See what works.
Find what resonates. Find our own unique path.
Yeah, our own way of connecting.
Expressing our true selves in the world.
Exactly.
As we explore these teachings, apply them to our lives.
We become active participants.
In the ongoing evolution of consciousness.
Contributing our own unique perspective.
We've covered so much ground.
I know.
But it feels like we've only scratched the surface.
Right. It's like the nature of these ancient teachings.
It's a journey.
They're inexhaustible sources of wisdom.
And I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners.
Yeah.
This is just an invitation to continue exploring.
Keep asking questions.
Delve deeper into these mysteries on your own.
Exactly.
The journey of self-discovery is a lifelong process.
It is. Peeling back the layers
of conditioning
to uncover the truth of who we are.
Embrace the fullness of our being.
The light and the shadow.
The mundane and the magical.
Integrating it all.
Into a harmonious whole.
And the beauty is there's no one right path.
We can draw inspiration
from these ancient traditions, from those who came before us.
Ultimately, the journey is ours to create.
Trust your intuition. Follow your curiosity.
Seek those moments of insight
that reveal the hidden dimensions of your being.
Wow, what a profound thought.
Thank you.
We've reached